Using Canva doesn't mean you can't design, and sometimes it can also mean the opposite, because the simpler the tool, the more knowledge is required from you as a designer or a creator to make it work, right? Because you need to bridge the gap between what the tool is providing you with and what you need to achieve. I am a graphic designer myself, and I do this professionally for a living on a daily. And using Canva doesn't stop me from still using Adobe. It just means that I have one more tool to work with, and each tool is going to serve a different purpose on a different situation. When it comes to working with clients, for example, sometimes they like to have control over the design. It could be because I design some templates for them that they need to tweak, or because they just need to make minor tweaks here and there, like changing a word or moving things around, and I don't need to be there for every step of the process when they need to make any edits. But also, if you're a small business owner and the team is basically just you and maybe a couple more people, and you don't have any creative support, using Canva can be extremely helpful. Just to let you know, I'm not being paid to say any of this. This is my genuine experience, and I use it daily, like most of us nowadays, I guess. What I'm going to teach you today are a few tips and things that can be really helpful for you when you use Canva, especially if your business is just you and you need a designer, and that's going to be you. So there you go. I want to share my favorite tips. There are so many others, and today I want to share my favorite ones. Do you know when you are designing and you start uploading pictures to the upload, and you start having all of these pictures available for you on the left, and it looks all quite nice and tidy so far because these are the only pictures I have. However, when you start working on different projects or with different clients, then things start to get very messy very quickly. So what I'm going to suggest today is that you stop using the uploads to grab your pictures to use within your designs. I'm going to show you a much better way to do this that is going to make your life so much easier. First, click on upload here on the left on this icon here, and then you can click on upload files, or you can simply drag and drop the images from your folder. All of those pictures are going to be added here within the upload section. Now, you have probably been using this section here as the main place to store all of your images so far, and at some point you realize how messy it was because you have to keep scrolling and scrolling until you found that one picture that you took 3 years ago that now is going to be really helpful. Today I'm going to share the solution for you, and you're going to love me for this. You want to go to projects here on the left and find the uploads folder right here. And here is where the hot mess is happening. Now, the first thing we want to do before we start tidying anything up is to make sure we delete those things that we don't need. It could be either duplicates or pictures we don't need anymore or whatever. I'm just going to randomly select a few just for the sake of the example. Imagine these are the ones I don't need anymore, and I'm just going to delete them here. Move to trash. They're going to be in the trash for 30 days. You can still rescue them within the trash, which is going to be right here. When you've done that, you want to make sure that each of these pictures goes to the right folder. And what we're going to do is select the pictures that we want to move, click on this icon, move, and we're going to start creating folders, as you can see here. If you click on all, you're going to find a folder for your projects and a folder of shared with you. So go to your projects and you want to start adding your folders right here. I'm going to create new and call this folder tutorial. Click on move to new folder. You're gonna see pictures disappearing from the uploads folder, which is so satisfying. That's gonna make it so much easier for you to keep it all tidy, because now you don't have as many pictures as before, and they keep moving out of this folder as you keep tidying them up. Another quick way to move a big chunk of images all in one go is, rather than keep clicking like this, you can simply click and drag and go all the way down up until wherever you need, and you're going to see how many you have selected. You can either delete them or move them to the folder. So satisfying. When it comes to using your pictures on a design, rather than going to uploads like you probably used to before, now you're gonna go to folders and find the folder that you created with all of the pictures that you had. Now, it does take a couple more clicks than before, especially if you have subfolders where you keep your stuff, but I would recommend keeping your folders as simple as possible, because if you keep having subfolders, then things are gonna get super messy, and then you're gonna have to click 100 times to get to where you want to go. So going forward, if you want to keep your pictures tidy at all times, you have these two ways. The first one is the one I just showed you, which is within the home page, go to projects, go to uploads, and then manage your pictures from here like I showed you earlier. Or within the actual design itself, you go to uploads on the left, and then you start selecting the pictures you want to move, and you move them all here to the right folder. And voila. I love this so much. And second, I want to share my favorite shortcuts that I use literally on a daily, and they are extremely helpful. They're going to help you save so much time. So if you are within the design and just click the background or click outside of it, doesn't matter. And if you click the letter C, just the letter C, no other key, and you're going to get a circle. The same thing happens if you want to create a rectangle, just click the key R and you get the rectangle. And I'm pretty sure you can guess which key you need to type in order to get a line. So you just type L and you get a line. Same goes with text. So if you need a text box, all you need to do is press the key T and you get your text box. Now this one I'm going to show you is very simple, but not many people know about it. And it makes the design look so much better very quickly and easily. And it's how to tidy up images and items on a design in a way that looks clean and tidy, professional, and without you having to manually move things around. So let me show you. I'm going to bring a circle, a rectangle, which actually happens to be a square. Imagine you need to tidy all of these elements up. And so what I've seen people do is manually move this around and start playing with the smart guides, as you can see, which are going to tell you. They're going to give you the hint whether you are on the right place or not. And also that number is going to tell you the distance between the items, which normally is going to be kind of okay because Canva tends to make our lives easier. And when you copy paste something, it's going to try and create some harmony so you don't have to make too many tweaks. However, this is clearly out of alignment. And if you had this, it's fine. But if you have many more, things are going to get complicated. So let me just make it difficult. So we end up with this, and they're clearly not aligned, and we don't want to do this manually because there's a few of them, and imagine if there were more. So how do we do this? We're going to select all of them by click and dragging, and then you can move them all in one go. Go to position, and I want to align them in the middle like this. And now I want to make sure that the space between each of the items is equal. So I click on space evenly, horizontally, and here you go, perfect. The same thing would apply if instead of having them horizontal, you had them vertical. So rather than clicking horizontally, you just click vertically and the same thing is going to happen. It's going to tidy them all up vertically. This is great when you need to tidy up a group of elements so that they are aligned in relation to each other. But when you need to tidy up one single element, you just click on it, go to position, and then choose what you want to do with it. If you want it to be in the middle of the screen, just click here, align to page, and then center, so that it's centered and in the middle of the screen. You can also choose to have it at the top, on the left, right or bottom, you get the gist. And my final favorite of the day is when you have this item here and you can see it's not 100% square, but you keep dragging it manually and the numbers don't align and it's just a headache. When you want to make sure that an item has a specific size, all you need to do is click on it, go to position, and if you need it to be square, all you need to do is make sure that the width and the height are of the same value. And there you go, you have a perfect square. Same goes when you need another item to have exactly the same size. You can either use the smart guides, like I'm gonna do here. In this case, it's gonna be quite easy, but it won't always be this easy. Sometimes you're gonna find that you have many other items on the screen and then all the smart guides get all tangled up and it all gets confusing. So what you can do in this case, when you need one item to be the exact same size as another one, is to click on the item that is going to serve as reference, check the width and the height, and then do the same thing with the new item. And here you go. Obviously, there are so many more tips I can share with you, but today I just wanted to share the main ones I use almost daily, I would say, that have made my life so much easier, especially the first one for sure. I hope you found this helpful. If you want to see any other tutorials, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.